So are you the 10 percenter or the 90 percenter? I like to try to be the 90 percenter. It's often challenging. It's often something that's triggering. And what I'm getting at is I've worked a variety of jobs like many of you have. I started out as a night janitor at a bank, worked forward facing in a convention center, worked front desk at a hotel, worked in a nursing home, a variety of things in the medical field, including emergency medicine, trauma, flight care, all that stuff. That's beside the point. What I'm getting at is that there's a statistic that about 10% of people, no matter where you go on the planet, 10% of people are triggering people that you will never satisfy them, that you will never communicate in a way that they fully understand or that radiates or resonates with them, and it's just something that you have to accept. You can choose to disagree with that and expend exorbitant amounts of mental energy, frustration, and angst trying to appease this 10% of people, or you can just accept it. The Stoics call this concept preferred indifference, and that's just basically accepting things as they are. You might prefer them to be a different way. This is my rephrasing this. You might prefer them to be a different way, but the way they are is just the way they are. And if you accept that and move on without expending a huge amount of mental energy trying to change that or overcome that, it will go a long way to happiness, satisfaction, and a sense of overwhelming tranquility or peace. It also allows for equanimity. That's just basically getting up after you fall. So you're going to get knocked down by these people. I get knocked down by these people every day, and just trying to get up gracefully and move on, not necessarily turn around and confront them or rear an angry word, which is very challenging. My personal coach and I came up with a little strategy. It goes back to a show that I used to watch years ago, Seinfeld. You all know what I'm talking about. And Cosmo Kramer would just throw up his hands and yell, "Serenity now!" And I've done that many times on aircraft with disgruntled people sitting next to me, or during COVID when people refused to wear masks. A variety of situations. You can extrapolate this to whatever situation you want to apply, but just think about this and try to come up with your own strategy to deal with this. Just a cue and a trigger. If you've ever read James Clear's work on Atomic Habits, you're gonna have a cue, you're gonna have a trigger, you're gonna have something that creates an automatic response. And I try to remember that top of mind, that not everything needs a label. It doesn't need to be judged. It doesn't need to be responded to or reacted to. And when I find that anger or that temptation to respond abruptly or aggressively or self-defense minded or whatever, if you will, if I just can think of that as a trigger and just like, "Serenity now," just, might look funny. I've actually done that a few times when traveling on long aircraft flights, just throwing up my hands and said that phrase, "Serenity now," and maybe I get away with it because I had my mask on at the time because it was COVID, but it's come out at times otherwise, and really, who cares? There are plenty of people do little behaviors or mannerisms that are maybe odd to others, and it's not always our place to judge that. Everybody's walking their own walk, they're battling their own battle, and you're not in their shoes, I'm not in their shoes, so it's really not our place to judge and label. So I'm just throwing that out there today. Today was a particularly challenging day, wrapping up on, it was about 8 o'clock tonight, and I'm just out for a little walk, getting a breath of fresh air. I've said my serenity nows, and I hope you found that helpful. Be safe, be well. Cheers.